All right, bet. So coming into this week, already a lot of technical things and a lot of fundamentals, but we can immediately see that we just filled a fair value gap, making for an inverse fair value gap, right? We're continuing lower, right, to come and test this change in state direction on the daily time frame, and also to match this internal liquidity. All right. And if you guys have any questions, just feel free to drop them in the chat, or just hold them to the Q&A. It's really up to you. Um, yeah. All right, bet. Oh yeah, and thank you guys for 600 members. That's like fucking crazy, bro. 600. Going
Yeah,
for a
bro.
thousand.
I was also looking at the daily candles. I guess in terms of like the psychology of it, like is like your bias like strictly that it will go down, or are you still thinking it can reverse based off of the close before below the gap?
Yeah. So like I was saying, we did in fact close below the gap, but I want to see us kind of open market a little lower and come to test this change in state direction. Right. We have internal liquidity down here. And maybe if market comes down here, displace, like move close below this change in state direction, we can continue to come even lower beyond this change in state. Maybe come to this little daily gap here, see what we do there. And if we see on the 4 hour time frame, we actually have this swing low right here that we could test, maybe come sweep it and come higher. So that's what we're kind of looking for. Um, so in terms of market opening, I do want to see us open lower. Um, in terms of how the week's going to play out, it's hard to say because we could indeed have a retracement and then continue this kind of bull run we've been having over the past couple months. Um, but yeah, if
Can
I'm
I add
coming,
on?
what's up? Go ahead, go ahead.
All right, so for I love that daily bias for the week. We just embraced a day fair value gap to the downside. I love us coming down, but I would be very careful trading this week with low probability news Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday's FOMC. I never trade FOMCs. I think Thursday's going to be a great day. I would love to see the market deliver down to the downside, just like you said. It should be a bearish bias, but I would definitely be careful trading the next few days just because of there being no news. Really, whenever there's no new days, I try to stay away from the market on those
Mm,
days just because there's a low probability of delivering out of a setup for me at least.
I agree. Yeah, as we can see here, I'll pull up news. It's August 17th. Yep. So this is our news for the week. All right, as you see, so Monday, no news. Like one tick was saying, Tuesday, no news. Thursday or Wednesday, sorry, Wednesday, we have FOMC. Definitely not trading. Like you said, very
I just got a
volatile
question. How come
markets.
you guys don't trade FOMC news?
So it's just
The
very
reason
volatile.
the
Go ahead.
reason it's a good idea not to trade FOMC news. I've been trading for a few years now. FOMC is very low probability for setups to play out just because of the high volatility of someone speaking in the market. You really don't want to trade. There's a lot of good setups that do come, but a better day to trade is that Thursday with unemployment claims coming out in the market, and there's a way better probability of your trade playing out after FOMC. It's just not good to trade during those days. Like it's better to stay away, honestly.
Yeah. Also, with the FOMC, it's like 2 p.m. Let's say it was like a different piece of news that was around the same time. Do you guys trade during the PM session at all, or just strictly in the morning?
So on Wednesday, for me at least, just speaking for myself, I'm gonna honestly step away that day. Just watch how the market plays out. It's honestly a lot better with trading because to take a day away where there's a low probability, when trading's a long term game, like you're not gonna just it's bad looking at the market as every day I need to take a win. Every day you need to either step away when you feel like today the market's not gonna deliver how you want. So like a FOMC day, I'll just step away. There's no point of trying to trade and force something when I feel like the market's not gonna deliver, and there always will be a better day. We're gonna if you guys are day traders, there's gonna be thousands of days ahead, many days ahead. And for me, I back tested FOMC days and it's just a low probability for most setups. So that's the reason I really don't trade on Wednesdays. Obviously, there's a good volatility in the market, but it can play out very, very, very like skeptical because it could go either way very quick just based off someone saying something.
Mm-hmm.
Appreciate it.
Oh, that's 100% everything you just said there. 100%, man. So going into Thursday though, as well, there's some unemployment claims. So today, Thursday would be, I guess you could trade that day. Unemployment claims, I would definitely be careful with that if you do trade like pre-market, which you really low-key shouldn't be doing. But and then Powell speaks on Friday, so today is definitely got to be very careful trading, um, like you were saying. But yeah, so that's about it though. Are there any questions for the weekly buys? Just to sum it up, looking to go bearish, definitely being careful throughout the week, and then maybe coming higher later in the week after we come test this change in state and all this liquidity that we have. Hopefully we can sweep it.
In terms of how you said like it might go higher later in the week.
Mm-hmm.
Um, if you look at where prices stopped off right now, um, you like. I mean, you already said your bias is that it's gonna come down and then later in the week. What's stopping you from thinking it might just open up and like immediately shoot bullish off of like not closing below that low there, next to the fair value gap,
So that is
that
a
like previous
possibility.
like bottom wick there?
I'd say that is a possibility.
Yeah,
Only because we have this internal liquidity like built up on like the higher time frames. I would want to see market come and test that, right?
yeah, yeah,
So that's the
And
only
to add,
reasoning.
and to add on to that, if the market plays off bullish, that's a low probability market. All time highs is probably the most low probability market there is. Based it off what we see right now, off of inverse of the day gap, we should definitely see a flush down lower. And if we don't deliver that, then honestly, this week would be a good week to step away. I know a lot of y'all probably deal with issues of trading every single day because I used to be like that before. But whenever you
yeah.
see a market deliver bullish and you have a bearish bias, it's honestly best to step away and not trade for a few days and just let the market deliver and set up for a better setup.
Yeah,
100%
I'll
agree.
definitely try to apply that. I feel like my biggest issue, I mean, probably this is everyone's biggest issue, but it's just like trading every day and not realizing when you have to just step the fuck away. Sorry for
Mm-hmm.
cursing.
No, you're good, bro.
Yeah, that comes with like I feel like that would come with just market experience, learning like after your losses and everything, like after you already won for the day or whatever, just to get off.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. All right, yeah. So yeah, that is weekly bias though. Now I kind of just want to like do like just a little Q&A session. If anyone has questions for our special guest here, One Tick, my boy, he be banking every month, so I would definitely ask away
Yes,
if you
sir.
can for sure. Um, but yeah,
Anybody got any questions, man?
yeah, it could be like psychology, anything.
How long you been trading, man?
I've been trading futures for about 8 months. I started on options last year, so I've probably been trading about 2 years. So I know a lot of people probably scared to ask questions, so I'll just give over a little bit of what I've learned in this market. So, I started off on options, not really knowing too much, really just reading Robinhood and losing. I lost probably $4,000 to $5,000. I know how it feels to be stuck in that range where you feel like you're not going to become profitable at a point, and I hit that point where it just felt really low. And you really have to get to those points with your trading where you feel like you reach that point where there's no turning back. For me, it was losing so much to the point and blowing accounts that I was like, all right, it's time to strictly follow these rules. There's days where there's a no news Monday, but you still take a trade and you lose, and you're like, well, how did I even trade? That wasn't even my rule book. Most important thing for psychology is low probability stepping away, not trading off of feeling. Everything you should be trading should be strictly an algorithm based off strategy. Whatever your strategy is, whatever you back tested, it should strictly be based off that. Never you should take a trade based off your feelings of, oh, this the market's going to push up, the market's going to push down, because you never will have a clear win percentage with that. You have to fully base your trading off of your strategy and how it wants to deliver.
Yeah, no, I completely agree, and I kind of realized that because I'm not gonna lie. So like the past month, I've been starting to like win more consistently, and it's kind of making me realize it's like I feel like I have the tools to um like do this for real, but
Yeah.
it's the psychology, man. It's like really just yeah, it just beats you up
Yeah.
like when you have a winning trade and then you say you're gonna come off and then you just look at the charts and just you know.
I feel you, man. I used to struggle with that so much, and the last few months I took that completely away, and it changed my trading. So if that motivates anyone in here, I can
Hmm.
tell you the best thing is when you take that win and your setup plays off, turn the charts off. Take some time away. There's no point of forcing anything out of this market because they will get that money back of you trying to force money out of it.
For sure.
Yeah.
100%. Hey, I did have a question for you, one tick, and this kind of applies to a lot of people in here. A lot of people are new into trading, and I've been having a lot of questions on where to even start. But and I agree that it should be like kind of finding a strategy. But like, how long did it take for you to find a strategy that truly fit you?
So for me to find my exact strategy, it took
Yeah.
me
How?
probably 7 to 8 months. I tried a lot of different things. I was a continuation guy. I was a guy who tried multiple different things. I knew so much and I thought these setups played out and I never stuck to one setup because when you first learn, you learn so much and you're like, what's the best setup? Okay, I see this. I think it's going to deliver lower. And then I kept failing and I was like, okay, it's time to step away, back test, figure out my exact strategy, and that's the only thing I'm going to trade. And when I did that and took that step away and figured out what I wanted to start to trade and found one setup that was delivering at like a 70% win rate, that's when everything changed for me. It was because a lot of people when they get into trading, you learn so much. You learn you might watch TJR, you learn his strategy, you watch somewhere else, you learn his strategy, and you have multiple confluences, but you need to find your confluence that delivers in the market and apply it every single day.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. Like I started trading we're in August right now. I started trading probably I think it was around March when everything kind of started to like tank, because of
Yeah.
Trump and it was a little bit,
Hmm.
rough coming in, but
Yeah.
um, with trading like I don't know if I'm wrong in saying this, but just personally for me, I feel like, time on the charts and also just seeing what works for me. I felt like I've got a grasp of what works for me a little bit. It's just the psychology and like as a beginner, like it's like you say, like you see so many videos with people, explaining their strategies and a bunch of different things. Um I don't know if I'm wrong in doing this because I've been thinking about it a lot. Like, if I should, because I usually try to avoid like a bunch of them because, I don't really want to mess up like where I'm at with my strategy. But also I don't want to like leave the door closed to like something that might be good information.
That's
Yeah, I feel
100.
that. And that's when you have to take the time to back test and also not even back test and watching the market every day and applying that strategy and really documenting what the win percentage is and how you feel about it. And if you feel like, okay, this strategy isn't delivering exactly how I like it, that's when I would focus on moving on to something else that you feel like would meet your needs. But it really all is a time thing. A lot of the bad things about trading is you see all these TikTokers, these YouTubers talking about the money. Everyone wants to make money. Everyone wants to get rich. For me, it was becoming. I just wanted to be a good trader. I just wanted to make this shit work. I just wanted to make like a statement with it. Like it was never about the money. Once I dissociated with trying to become rich quick, trying to figure out the best strategy and trade as much as I can and make as much money, is when the profits really started to come. And it's really about just applying a strategy that wins at a high rate. It's really just being a robot. Like as much as crazy as it sounds, like you should have no emotions attached to it. You should have a strategy that you believe in, that you've back tested, and you trade that like an algorithm. And if it fails, you get back in the lab, you back test, you review the markets, you continue to grow each and every day.
Yeah, that's
And
really good advice. Oh, sorry to cut you off, man.
no, it's good.
No,
I
you're good. Keep
did.
going, bro.
Oh.
I was gonna ask, in terms of like back testing because I've been trying to get into it. Like, um, do you guys just use like bar replay? And then in terms of like using bar replay, like how do you choose what days to back test? I'm assuming, based off what you said earlier, which I didn't know before. I guess you look at previous news days and test your strategy out on those.
Yes. So the best thing for back testing would be a lot of y'all might pay for TradingView. I use it really depends what backtesting. I use FX Replay. So I went back to a previous year. I backtested 2022, 2023, 2023 to 2024, and I applied my strategy on high impact news days. I've also applied the strategy to no news days to see how the probability is. And, I've realized that my strategy plays out on a no news day about 67 to 68% of the time. And on a high news day, it's about 78 to 80% of the time. And so for me, it was like, okay, I see no news days do play out at a high rate, but I would rather take a higher odds percent chance on a high news day where market is playing out a lot more volatile and has a clear direction where there's good draws to trade in. And for me, I think the best thing to do is take it back to, a previous year because the market's always going to move the same. Obviously, Trump markets are a little bit different than previous markets, but strategies pretty much run the same through the market at all times.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks, man.
That's a really good point you make, though, that when you're finding your strategy, you have to really go back in time. And I like that you go at least a year back. That's actually really good for collecting data. But I did have a question, kind of like looking at the bigger picture. I think it would be really good advice for everyone here. But if you had to start all over again, like where a majority of the people like here are starting, what would you do differently?
So if I was to restart everything again, the first thing I would do is, I don't run it like, for me, my strategy was based off Dodgy D's and Justin Werland. So my biggest advice is those are big mentors on YouTube. You can definitely learn a lot of things from NT in here as well. But I really think reviewing people who are profitable, watching their strategy, watch it play out, and then implementing it into the charts on FX Replay first, and developing a clear bias of your strategy working is way better than just hopping on a top step and trying to make it work, because you're never gonna be able to you can, with the thing with back testing that's so important is you can play thousands of days over and over in a row. When you're just trading on a top step account, you get one day at a time, and the market might not deliver your way that day and you think that strategy doesn't work. But if you back tested it a year, you would see, okay, it works at an 80%. That day it just didn't play out my probability.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yo,
that's
one tick. I have a question for you, bro. Out of your trading career, what's the biggest lesson you have learned from yourself?
It's a great
The
question.
big the biggest lesson I've learned in my entire trading career is never think that trading is going to be the biggest thing for me is, I'm one of those people that love money. Like, I just want to have money. Like, that's always how I've been growing up. I worked multiple jobs. Always cared about money. I never really seen the big thing in college and all of that. So when I first got into trading, it was all about trying to make money quick, taking high risks, just trying to make the market play out of my way, and it never worked. So I think the most important part is just finding a strategy that works at a high rate. No matter what money you're making, you have to build your strategy. You have to figure out your probability and what you like and how the market plays out first. You can't make it based off money. A lot of the people I talk to that get into trading, they just want to become rich. They see TJR and these big influencers making so much money. It can't be about the money. It has to be strictly off strategy. That's how you're going to become profitable. It's becoming a robot, not having emotions and feelings to the market.
Mm-hmm.
yeah. Um, I had a question. I had two questions.
Go
Um,
ahead, bro.
It'll be the
with
last two,
the
and then we should be good.
okay.
Yeah.
With the mentors you had mentioned, I never heard of them before. Can you just repeat their names?
Justin Werlin and Dodgy D's.
How do you spell that? The last name.
I'll type it in the chat for you, bro.
All right, thanks. And then the other question I had, so since I started trading, I haven't tried on a funded account yet, because I've just been trying to build my discipline first. I don't know. I feel like just for me personally, I feel like I would just blow that shit, you know. So
Yeah,
I've been trying to work on taking winning trades, and also a big thing that you said that I'm trying to implement right now is just not trading some days.
yeah,
Sometimes you feel like because the weekend's coming, you feel like you got to get the trades in every day,
yeah,
which is like it's just you're just digging yourself a bigger hole.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Um, did you immediately start out with funded accounts, or did you like, you know?
I started on Robinhood. I started trading options. A lot of people don't know about options, but that's what I started to trade originally.
hmm Um, options. What's the difference between options and futures? Because I'm pretty sure I'm trading. I feel like I'm trading options right now.
Options is on Robinhood and Webull and a few other brokerage apps. It's a contract is very, very different from futures. It has delta, gamma. So like you have contracts. So basically you enter a trade. Let's say you have 10 contracts. It's a lot different than a mini. Like it's instead of being like on futures, like it's based off it's a lot based off time. So let's say your trade runs 50 points immediately, you're going to make a lot more money off options. But if your trade doesn't run immediately, you're going to lose a lot of money because it's really all based off a time thing with options. And I would really recommend getting into futures first. It's definitely a better market just to learn. It's definitely way, way better than getting the options. I would recommend options once you become profitable and have a clear strategy.
Yeah. It's really just also I wouldn't fall into the hole of the black hole of YouTube though. A lot of it is market experience. Of course,
Yeah.
definitely good to look at some YouTubers, but don't heavily rely on just watching YouTube videos because at the end of the day, you know, you can't watch a
hmm
bunch of videos on basketball and then go hoop. You know.
I completely agree. I just recommended those people because I like their strategies. I think it's
hmm
completely based off your own market experience and what you've seen in the market. The most
Yeah,
important thing is just having market experience. That's so facts, bro.
of course, man.
Yeah. No, I completely agree as well. Because I feel like I don't know. I feel like a lot of new traders don't realize that. I follow. I've recently started trading on Nasdaq. Like Nasdaq 100, what everyone's trading. Just because I just wanted to compare. I guess the trades I take to other people on the same setups. I usually see follow a couple of people who post their trades like a few minutes after, and I kind of get to see what their thought process was, and some of them like take completely different trades, which are also winning trades. They might be looking for buys while I'm looking for sells. And sometimes both things end up playing out. So yeah, I really think it's just whatever you're
Yeah,
comfortable
man.
with.
Yeah, man. It's all 100%, man. Well, thank you so much, One Tick, for answering all our questions. Like, and I'm sure
Yes,
if you
sir, bro.
guys
I
have any,
appreciate you for having me, man.
yeah,
Really.
man. I have one
Yeah,
more
thanks a
thing
lot,
that I
man.
want to do before we hit like the little spin the wheel for our raffle. Um, Here first, I'm going to put up this little spin the wheel. But I also wanted to just read a little like paragraph of the scripture real quick, because I think it will help us like us like we a lot with our trading. Because it just shows how true God is. So, just a little context before I'll make it really quick. So Jacob, he's someone in the Bible. He says a prayer that his brother he's currently beefing with will like leave him alone, right? Because his brother is apparently coming with 400 other men, and he's going to, you know, I guess he thinks something's going to happen because Jacob took his blessing away. It's a whole story in Genesis. You can check it out. But I'm just gonna read a little excerpt from it. So it says in Genesis 32:9, and Jacob said, "O God of my father Abraham." He's saying a prayer, by the way. And Jacob said, "O God of my father Abraham, and God of my father Isaac, O Lord, who said to me, return to your country and to your kindred, that I may do you good. I am not worthy of the least of my deeds and steadfast love and all the faithfulness that you have shown to your servant. For with only my staff I crossed this Jordan, and now I have become two camps. Please deliver me from the hand of my brother, from the hand of Esau, for I fear him that he may come and attack me, the mothers with the children. But you said, I will surely do good and make your offspring as the sand of sea, which cannot be numbered for multitude." So he says a prayer that his brother will leave him alone. And what's crazy is that the next page I flip, I'm going to read the first sentence of a paragraph and then the second sentence of a paragraph. So in Genesis 33, first sentence, and Jacob lifted up his eyes and looked, and behold, Esau was coming, and 400 men with him. So he divided the children among Leah and Rachel, his wives, and the two female servants. And he put the servants with their children in front, then Leah with her children, and Rachel, and then Joseph, last of all, him, went on before him, bowing himself to the